Certain glances hold particular significance in the grand narrative of our lives. First impressions, often forged in a matter of seconds, have the power to influence our perceptions and shape the trajectory of relationships. Whether it's a job interview, a first date, or a chance encounter with a potential friend, that initial look can set the tone for all future interactions. Similarly, last looks carry a weight that is both heartbreaking and profound. As we bid farewell to loved ones, whether through death, distance, or the natural evolution of relationships, those final glances become etched into our memories. They serve as a poignant reminder of the love, laughter, and shared experiences that have enriched our lives. These bookends to our relationships highlight the ephemeral nature of time and the importance of cherishing every moment. They remind us to express our love freely, to forgive past transgressions, and to live each day to the fullest, knowing that every interaction could be our last. The bittersweet beauty of life lies in these fleeting moments of connection, both joyful and sorrowful. By embracing the power of first and last looks, we open ourselves up to a deeper understanding of ourselves, our relationships, and the enduring impact we have on the world around us. Life in its simplest form is a collection of moments. Some are grand and life-altering, while others are quiet and seemingly insignificant. Yet, it's the sum of these experiences, both big and small, that weaves together the intricate tapestry of our individual journeys. And within each of these moments, there exists the potential for a meaningful glance to leave its mark. Consider the simple act of walking down a crowded city street. With each passing face, there's a brief exchange of glances, a fleeting acknowledgement of shared humanity. Most fade into the background noise of our day, but occasionally a look will linger, sparking a flicker of recognition or curiosity. Perhaps it's the weary eyes of a fellow commuter that mirror our own exhaustion, forging an unspoken bond over the shared experience of a long day. Or maybe it's the infectious laughter of a group of friends that reminds us of the simple joys in life. These seemingly insignificant moments, strung together by a thread of shared glances, contribute to the richness and complexity of our daily lives. By paying attention to these subtle interactions, we open ourselves up to a world of connection and understanding. We begin to see the humanity in those around us, recognizing that we are all on this journey together, navigating the ups and downs of life, one glance, one moment at a time. Section 5. Embracing the journey. The purpose of this exploration into the power of glances is not to dwell on the past or to overanalyze every interaction. Rather, it's an invitation to embrace the present moment and to appreciate the profound impact that even the smallest gestures can have on our lives and the lives of those around us. It's a reminder to look beyond the surface and to truly see the people we encounter each day, to recognize the stories held within their eyes, the joys and sorrows that have shaped them into the unique individuals they are. And in doing so, we open ourselves up to a deeper level of human connection, fostering empathy, compassion, and a greater understanding of the world around us. As we move forward on our individual journeys, let us carry with us the awareness that every glance holds the potential for connection, for meaning, for a story waiting to be told. Let us approach each interaction with intention, recognizing that even the smallest gestures can have a ripple effect, shaping not only our own lives but also the lives of those we touch along the way. For it is in these moments of shared humanity, however fleeting, that we discover the true beauty and depth of the human experience. Section 1. Serendipity's charm. Nestled amidst rolling hills and whispering willows lies the town of Serendipity. With cobblestone streets and quaint storefronts, it exudes a timeless charm that seems untouched by the outside world. The air hums with a gentle energy, a symphony of birdsong and laughter carried on the breeze. Life in Serendipity moves at a different pace, a slower, more deliberate rhythm that encourages connection and reflection. It's a place where people greet each other by name, where shopkeepers know their customers' stories, and where the aroma of freshly baked bread wafts from open windows, inviting passers-by to pause and savor the simple pleasures. Legend has it that Serendipity earned its name for a reason. It's said that every encounter, every chance meeting carries with it the potential for something extraordinary, a serendipitous encounter, a twist of fate, a glance that lingers just a moment too long. These are the threads from which destiny is woven in this enchanting town. And so, it is in this setting, ripe with possibility and imbued with a touch of magic, that our story begins. A story of two souls drawn together by fate, their paths destined to intersect on a day that will forever change the course of their lives. The bustling market square was alive with energy. Farmers hawked their wares, advertising the freshest produce. Children darted between stalls, their laughter echoing. The scent of blooming lilacs mingled with fresh soil.
Elara, with a smile that could light up a room, navigated the market. She paused at a stall, trailing her fingers over intricate embroidery.
Across the square, Sam was drawn to antique books. His fingers traced the worn spines with reverence. Neither knew their paths were about to converge. They both turned, drawn to a street musician's haunting melody. The music seemed to weave a spell over the bustling market, silencing the chatter and drawing everyone's attention to the solitary figure in the square. The melody, both melancholic and hopeful, resonated deep within Elara and Sam, stirring emotions they hadn't realized lay dormant within their hearts.
As the final notes faded into the air, they found themselves looking across the square, their eyes meeting for the first time.
In that instant, the world around them seemed to melt away, the noise and commotion fading into insignificance.
Time seemed to both stand still and race forward simultaneously. It was as if they were the only two people in the world, their connection defying the laws of physics and logic.
Their eyes locked in a silent conversation, conveying a depth of emotion that words could never express. Curiosity flickered in Elara's eyes, a spark of recognition at something unknown but strangely familiar in Sam's gaze.
In turn, Sam felt a warmth spread through his chest, a sense of belonging he hadn't realized he'd been craving.
Neither Elara nor Sam could explain the intensity of that first look. It was as if a dormant part of their souls had awakened, recognizing a kindred spirit in the other.
The world shifted on its axis, their lives irrevocably altered by a single fleeting moment of connection.
Elara felt a blush creep up her cheeks, her heart pounding in her chest as if trying to break free. She couldn't tear her gaze away from Sam, drawn to him like a moth to a flame.
Sam, usually so reserved and composed, felt a rare surge of confidence. He wanted to know everything about this intriguing woman, to unravel the mysteries hidden behind her captivating gaze.
The music had stopped, the spell broken, but the world around them remained a blur. All that mattered was the connection they had forged in that single, electrifying glance. It was the start of something new, something magical, something that had the power to change their lives forever. There's a love so profound, so pure, that it transcends the boundaries of language. It's a love that needs no words, no grand gestures, for its essence is woven into the very fabric of our being. It's the love between a parent and child, a bond forged in the crucible of creation and nurtured by a lifetime of shared experiences. From the moment a child enters the world, a symphony of emotions washes over a parent's heart. Awe, wonder, and a fierce protectiveness intertwine, creating a love that knows no bounds. It's a love that defies logic, a love that asks for nothing in return but the opportunity to cherish and protect this precious life entrusted to their care. In the quiet stillness of a hospital room, or perhaps amidst the familiar comforts of home, a new chapter unfolds. The world outside fades into insignificance as a parent cradles their newborn child, their gazes meeting for the very first time. It's a moment suspended in time, a sacred space where two souls connect on a level that words can only attempt to describe. For in this first look there is a recognition, a silent acknowledgement of the profound connection that binds them together. It's as if time itself stands still, allowing parent and child to simply be, to bask in the wonder of this newfound love that will shape the course of their lives.
Sophie had always believed in miracles, but nothing could have prepared her for the awe-inspiring experience of childbirth. The hours of labor, though challenging, had been a testament to the strength and resilience she never knew she possessed. And now, as she cradled her newborn daughter Lily in her arms, she felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude and love wash over her. The room, bathed in the soft glow of the morning sun, seemed to hum with a gentle energy. It was as if the very air vibrated with the miracle of new life. Sophie gently brushed a stray strand of hair from Lily's forehead, marveling at the perfection of her tiny features.
Lily's eyes, still closed, fluttered beneath her delicate eyelids, as if she were dreaming of the world she had just entered. Sophie couldn't wait to witness the world through her daughter's eyes, to share in her discoveries, and to guide her through the adventures that lay ahead. In that moment, Sophie made a silent promise to her daughter, a promise to love her unconditionally, to support her dreams, and to be a constant source of strength and comfort throughout her life. It was a promise whispered from the depths of her soul, a vow sealed with a love that knew no bounds. As the minutes turned into hours, Lily's eyes slowly began to open, revealing a pair of deep blue eyes that seemed to hold the wisdom of 1,000 lifetimes. Sophie's breath caught in her throat as their gazes met for the very first time. In that instant, the world as she knew it ceased to exist.
Lily's gaze was steady, unblinking, as if she were trying to absorb every detail of her mother's face. Sophie, lost in the depths of her daughter's eyes, felt a wave of emotion wash over her. It was a love so pure, so intense, that it threatened to consume her entirely.
In that moment, Sophie understood the true meaning of unconditional love. It was a love that transcended physical appearance, a love that saw beyond the imperfections and embraced the essence of another's soul. It was a love that asked for nothing in return, a love that simply was. As Sophie gazed down at her daughter, she couldn't help but see glimpses of herself reflected back. The same button nose, the same determined set to her chin, the same spark of curiosity in her eyes. But more than that, she saw a reflection of her own capacity for love. A love that had been awakened and amplified by the arrival of this precious child.
Sophie gently stroked Lily's cheek, her touch as light as a feather. She whispered words of love and reassurance, her voice thick with emotion. Lily, in response, reached out a tiny hand, her fingers curling around her mother's finger with surprising strength. In that simple gesture, Sophie felt a connection so profound that it defied explanation. It was a bond forged in the crucible of creation, a bond that transcended the boundaries of time and space.
As the sun began its slow descent, casting long shadows across the room, Sophie made a silent vow to her daughter. A vow to cherish every moment, to celebrate each milestone, and to be present for all of life's adventures, both big and small. She promised to be a source of strength and guidance, a shoulder to cry on, and a cheerleader who would always believe in her daughter's dreams. And in the quiet stillness of that moment, Sophie knew that this tiny, perfect being had irrevocably changed her heart, making her a better, stronger, and more loving person than she ever thought possible. Alex, a man of routine and solitude, found solace in the predictability of his days. Each morning he followed the same path through the park, his footsteps a familiar rhythm against the paved walkway. He enjoyed the tranquility of the early hours, the world still shrouded in the soft glow of dawn, before the hustle and bustle of city life awoke. One crisp autumn morning, however, his usual route took an unexpected turn.
A flash of movement beneath a towering oak tree caught my eye, disrupting my usual reverie. Curiosity piqued, I cautiously approached, my footsteps light on the fallen leaves.
Peering into the shadows cast by the ancient oak, Alex discovered a small, shivering form huddled amidst the gnarled roots. It was a puppy, no bigger than a loaf of bread, its fur matted and muddy. Its ribs protruded through its thin frame, a testament to its struggle for survival. Alex, though not particularly an animal person, felt a pang of sympathy for the abandoned creature. He knelt down, keeping a respectful distance, and offered a tentative,
"Hello there, little one."
The puppy, startled by the sound of his voice, lifted its head and looked at him with wide, uncertain eyes.
"It's all right, little one," I'm not going to hurt you. The sunlight, filtering through the canopy of leaves above, cast an ethereal glow upon the scene. The air hung heavy with the scent of damp earth and fallen leaves, a symphony of autumn aromas. Time seemed to slow as Alex and the puppy locked eyes, a silent conversation passing between them. The puppy, despite its weakened state, managed a weak wag of its tail, its body trembling slightly. Alex, touched by the gesture, inched closer, extending a hand slowly, palm up as a sign of non-aggression.
He held his breath, hoping the animal wouldn't bolt, and waited patiently for the puppy to make the next move. To Alex's surprise, the puppy, as if sensing his genuine concern, crawled hesitantly towards him, its tail now wagging with more enthusiasm. It sniffed his outstretched hand cautiously, its cold, wet nose tickling his palm. Then with a soft whimper, it nuzzled its head against his hand, seeking comfort and warmth.
Come on, little guy. In that instant, as their eyes met once more, a connection sparked between man and animal. Alex, who had always considered himself a solitary soul, felt an unexpected surge of protectiveness towards the vulnerable creature before him. The puppy's eyes, despite reflecting fear and uncertainty, also held a glimmer of hope, a plea for kindness and care. Alex gently stroked the puppy's matted fur, feeling the bones beneath its thin coat. He couldn't bear the thought of leaving it to fend for itself in the harsh realities of the city. A decision, swift and sure, formed in his heart.
Alex said softly, scooping the puppy carefully into his arms. The puppy, as if understanding, snuggled into the crook of his arm, seeking warmth and security. Its small body trembled against his chest, but its tail continued to wag, a testament to its newfound trust. As Alex rose to his feet, the puppy lifted its head and licked his chin clumsily, a gesture that brought a smile to Alex's face. In that simple act of affection, a bond began to form, a connection that would change both their lives in ways neither could have anticipated. With the puppy safely nestled in his arms, Alex continued his walk through the park, his pace slower than usual, his heart lighter than it had been in years. The early morning sun breaking through the clouds seemed to illuminate their path, casting long shadows that danced alongside them. The park, usually just a backdrop to his solitary routine, suddenly felt different. The chirping of birds seemed more cheerful, the rustling leaves more musical. Even the crisp autumn air seemed to vibrate with a newfound energy.
As Alex reached the edge of the park, he glanced down at the puppy, now sleeping peacefully in his arms. He couldn't explain the depth of emotion he felt for this creature he had just met. It was as if the puppy had unlocked a part of his heart he didn't know existed, a capacity for love and companionship he thought long dormant. In that moment, as he looked down at the sleeping puppy, Alex knew he couldn't let it go. This chance encounter, this unexpected connection, had irrevocably intertwined their destinies. He would give this puppy a home, a name, and a lifetime of love. And in return, he knew this small creature would enrich his life in ways he could only begin to imagine.
Elara, always drawn to the solace of nature, had embarked on a solitary hike. The trail, winding its way through a tapestry of emerald green and golden hues, led her to a secluded hillside overlooking a breathtaking vista. With each step, the weight of the world seemed to lift from her shoulders. The air, crisp and clean, filled her lungs with a renewed sense of purpose. The only sounds were the gentle rustling of leaves beneath her feet and the distant melody of birdsong.
As she ascended higher, the trees began to thin, revealing a panoramic view that took her breath away. Mountains, their peaks shrouded in mist, stretched out before her like sleeping giants. Below, a valley, painted in 1,000 shades of green, unfolded like a rumpled tapestry. Elara paused at the edge of the hillside, closing her eyes as she inhaled the fresh mountain air. The scent of pine needles and damp earth filled her senses, grounding her in the present moment. It was as if the world around her had conspired to create this moment of perfect tranquility.
Opening her eyes, Elara turned her gaze eastward, where the horizon glowed with the promise of a new day. The sky, a canvas of deep indigo blue, gradually lightened to a soft lavender as the first hints of dawn painted the heavens. The air grew still as if nature itself was holding its breath in anticipation. Then, slowly, majestically, the sun began its ascent. A sliver of golden light peeked over the distant mountain peaks, casting long shadows across the valley below.
As the sun climbed higher, the sky erupted in a kaleidoscope of colors. Hues of pink, orange, and gold swirled together, painting the heavens in a breathtaking display of celestial artistry. It was a spectacle that surpassed anything Elara had ever witnessed, a symphony of light and color that touched her soul. In that moment, standing witness to the raw beauty of nature, Elara felt a profound sense of connection to something far greater than herself. It was as if the boundaries between her own being and the natural world dissolved, leaving her feeling both humbled and exhilarated.
The sun, now a fiery orb in the sky, cast its golden rays across the landscape, illuminating the world in a warm embrace. The valley below, bathed in sunlight, sparkled like 1,000 tiny jewels. Trees, their leaves shimmering like emeralds, swayed gently in the breeze.
Captivated by the beauty unfolding before my eyes, I felt a sense of peace wash over me. The world, usually a whirlwind of activity and noise, seemed to slow to a gentle rhythm. It was as if time itself had paused, allowing me to fully absorb the magnificence of the moment.
She watched as the sunlight danced across the surface of a nearby stream, transforming it into a ribbon of liquid gold. Birds soared overhead, their songs echoing through the valley, a chorus of joy celebrating the arrival of a new day. In that moment, surrounded by the symphony of nature, Elara felt a profound sense of gratitude. Gratitude for the beauty that surrounded her, gratitude for the gift of life, and gratitude for the opportunity to witness this breathtaking display of nature's artistry. As the sun climbed higher in the sky, the initial burst of color began to fade, giving way to the clear blue sky of a perfect autumn day. Elara, her heart full, found a comfortable spot on a moss-covered rock and settled in to savor the moment.
The silence of the mountaintop enveloped me, a welcome respite from the constant noise of city life. It was a silence that wasn't empty, but rather filled with the subtle sounds of nature. The rustling of leaves, the chirping of crickets, the distant call of a hawk circling overhead.
Closing her eyes, Elara took a deep breath, inhaling the crisp mountain air. She could feel the warmth of the sun on her skin, the gentle breeze whispering through her hair. In that moment, she felt a sense of peace she had never experienced before, a deep sense of connection to herself and to the world around her.
This was the magic of nature. Its ability to quiet the mind, to soothe the soul, and to remind us of the simple beauty that surrounds us, if only we take the time to notice. It was a lesson I would carry with me long after I descended from the mountaintop, a reminder that solace and peace could always be found in the embrace of nature.
The bathroom was dim, lit only by the soft glow of a street lamp filtering through the window. Sam stood before the mirror, his reflection a shadowy figure in the half-light. He had avoided looking at himself for weeks, his own gaze a source of discomfort, a reminder of battles fought and scars accumulated. But tonight was different. Tonight a strange compulsion drew him to the mirror, a need to confront the man staring back at him, to acknowledge the pain etched into the lines on his face, the weariness that shadowed his eyes.
I raised a hand, my fingers tracing the lines around my eyes, the grooves etched by years of laughter and worry. Each line held a story, a chapter in the long and winding road that had led me to this moment. Some were stories I cherished, memories that brought a smile to my lips. Others were tales I'd rather forget, shadows of a past I couldn't outrun.
The silence of the room pressed in, amplifying the beating of his own heart. He saw the way his shoulders slumped, weighed down by burdens he'd carried for far too long. He saw the doubt that flickered in his eyes, the fear that whispered he wasn't good enough, strong enough, worthy enough. For years, Sam had sought solace in the shadows. hiding from his own reflection, both literally and metaphorically. He had built walls around his heart, shielding himself from the pain of past disappointments, the sting of rejection, the ache of unfulfilled dreams. But the truth was, he couldn't outrun himself. No matter how far he ran, no matter how deeply he buried his true self, the mirror always found him, reflecting back the man he'd tried so desperately to forget.
Tonight, however, something shifted within me. Perhaps it was Elara's unwavering belief in me, her ability to see past my carefully constructed facade and recognize the man I longed to be. Or maybe it was simply the exhaustion of living a half-life, of denying my true nature. Whatever the reason, I was done running. I was done hiding. It was time to confront my demons, to acknowledge the pain that had shaped me, and to begin the arduous journey of healing.
He took a deep breath, filling his lungs with air, and as he exhaled, he whispered,
I see you.
It was a simple acknowledgement, but in that moment it felt monumental. He was seeing himself, truly seeing himself, for the first time in a very long time. As Sam's gaze lingered on his reflection, he began to see beyond the lines, beyond the scars, beyond the years of accumulated pain. He saw a strength he didn't know he possessed, a resilience forged in the fires of adversity. He saw the kindness that shone through his eyes, the compassion that emanated from his very being. He saw the love he had to give, the loyalty he held for those precious few he allowed into his heart.
I saw the dreams I had buried, the passions I had suppressed, the potential that lay dormant within me. I saw a man capable of great things, a man worthy of love and happiness, a man who had stumbled and fallen, but who was ready to rise again. It wasn't a sudden transformation, this shift in perspective. It was a subtle awakening, a gradual peeling back of layers, revealing the true essence of who I was beneath the surface.
It was a recognition that he was not defined by his past, nor was he limited by his mistakes. He was a work in progress, flawed and imperfect, but perfectly human, and in that imperfection he found a strange sense of peace. Sam knew the road ahead wouldn't be easy. There would be days when the shadows threatened to consume him, days when he questioned his own worth, days when the weight of the world felt unbearable. But he also knew he didn't have to face those challenges alone. He had Elara, her love, a beacon of hope in the darkness. He had the memories of those who had loved him, their presence a source of strength and comfort.
And most importantly, I had myself. I had the courage to face my demons, the willingness to forgive myself, the strength to keep moving forward one step at a time. This first look, this honest confrontation with my own reflection, was just the beginning. It was the start of a journey of self-discovery, a journey of healing, a journey of learning to love myself unconditionally. It was a journey I was finally ready to take.
The hospital room was bathed in the soft, ethereal glow of early morning. Outside, the world was just beginning to stir, the sounds of a new day gradually replacing the stillness of night. But inside, time seemed to stand still, each tick of the clock a heavy weight against the silence that enveloped the room. Elara lay in the bed, her once vibrant face now pale and drawn, her breath shallow and labored. The relentless march of her illness had taken its toll, stealing her strength and vitality with each passing day. Yet even in her weakened state, her eyes held a spark of recognition, a glimmer of the fiery spirit that had always defined her.
I'm here, Elara. I'm right here.
Beside her, Sam sat, his hand gently clasped around hers. His face, etched with worry and exhaustion, was a mask of the emotional turmoil raging within him. He had spent countless hours by her side, refusing to leave, clinging to every shared breath, every stolen glance, every fleeting moment of connection. The silence between them, once filled with laughter and whispered secrets, now hung heavy with unspoken words. It was a silence born of both love and fear, a testament to the depth of their bond and the looming shadow of their impending farewell. As Sam gazed at Elara, his heart ached with a bittersweet mixture of love and grief. Memories flickered through his mind like scenes from a beloved film.
I remember the first time we met, the spark in your eyes.
He remembered their first meeting, the instant connection that had drawn them together. He recalled their adventures, the laughter, the challenges they faced side by side, the quiet moments of intimacy, the stolen kisses, the comforting silences. Each memory, a precious thread in the tapestry of their shared history. A thousand words crowded Sam's mind, words of love, gratitude and despair. He wanted to tell her how much she meant to him, how she had changed his life in countless ways, how he couldn't imagine a world without her. But the words seemed to catch in his throat, choked by the lump of emotion that threatened to overwhelm him.
Elara,
He looked into her eyes, searching for a sign, a glimmer of understanding, and in that instant he realized that words were unnecessary. The language of love, the language of the heart, transcended mere words. Their eyes met and a silent conversation passed between them, a communication deeper than words could ever express.
I love you.
In that shared gaze, he conveyed his love, his gratitude, his sorrow, his acceptance, and in her eyes he saw a reflection of those emotions, a silent acknowledgement of the unspoken words that hung heavy in the air. It was a moment of profound connection, a testament to the enduring power of love, even in the face of unimaginable loss. Elara's grip on his hand tightened slightly, her touch, once firm and vibrant, now frail but no less resolute. A faint smile touched her lips, a fleeting flicker of light in the dimming twilight of her life.
In that moment, I understood that our love story wasn't ending, merely transitioning into a new chapter. It was a love that transcended the physical realm, a love woven into the very fabric of our souls.
He would carry her memory with him, a cherished part of who he was, her love, a guiding light in the darkness. He would honor their time together by living a life filled with purpose and passion, a life that reflected the love they had shared.
As the first rays of dawn illuminated the sky, casting a warm glow across the room, Elara took one last, ragged breath, her hand finally relaxing its grip on mine.
And in the silence that followed, Sam felt a profound sense of peace, knowing that their love, like the rising sun, would continue to shine brightly long after the darkness had passed. The old rocking chair creaked softly, a familiar rhythm in the quiet stillness of the room. Sophie, her silver hair shimmering in the soft lamplight, sat beside her daughter's bed, her gaze fixed on the peaceful face of the woman who had been her world. Time, once a relentless river carrying them swiftly along, now seemed to flow at a different pace. The urgency of youth had given way to the gentle ebb and flow of the tide, each moment a precious pearl to be savored.
Sophie's hand rested lightly on her daughter's, their fingers intertwined, a lifetime of shared moments woven into that simple touch. The warmth of her daughter's hand, once a source of comfort and reassurance, now felt fragile, the pulse beneath her fingers a faint echo of the vibrant life force that had always burned so brightly.
Outside, the first whispers of dawn painted the sky in hues of lavender and rose, a gentle reminder of the cyclical nature of life, the constant dance between darkness and light, loss and renewal. And in the quiet intimacy of that room, Sophie found herself reflecting on the journey they had shared, a mother and daughter bound by an unbreakable cord of love. Sophie's mind drifted back through the corridors of time, each memory a precious gem carefully stored within the treasure chest of her heart. She recalled the overwhelming joy of holding her daughter for the first time, a tiny, perfect being who had captured her heart in an instant.
She remembered the sleepless nights, the endless diaper changes, the first tentative steps, the triumphant moment her daughter uttered the word "Mama."
She had cherished every milestone, every triumph, every stumble along the way, her love for her daughter an unwavering beacon guiding them both. There had been laughter and tears, moments of shared joy and times of unbearable heartache. They had weathered storms together, their bond growing stronger with each challenge they faced.
Through it all, I had been my daughter's constant, her rock, her confidant, her biggest cheerleader. Now as I watched her sleep, her breaths growing shallower, her face pale but serene, I felt a profound sense of gratitude for the gift of our time together.
It wasn't the quantity of years that mattered, she realized, but the quality of love they had shared. A love that transcended the boundaries of time and circumstance.
Sophie knew her daughter wouldn't want her to grieve. She had always been a force of nature, her spirit as bright and fierce as the sun. She had lived her life to the fullest, embracing every moment with passion and zest that inspired everyone she met. Her legacy wasn't measured in material possessions or worldly accomplishments, but in the countless lives she had touched with her kindness, her compassion, her unwavering belief in the goodness of humanity. She had left an indelible mark on the world, a ripple effect that would continue to spread long after she was gone.
And so Sophie made a silent promise to her daughter. She would honor her memory by embracing life with the same gusto, by cherishing the people she loved, by making the most of every precious moment. She would carry her daughter's spirit within her heart, a source of strength and inspiration for the rest of her days. She would tell her daughter's stories to her grandchildren and great-grandchildren, keeping her memory alive for generations to come. She would ensure that the world never forgot the remarkable woman her daughter had been, the light she had brought into the world, the love she had shared so freely. As the sun rose higher in the sky, casting long shadows across the room, Sophie felt a change in her daughter's breathing. It grew more shallow, more sporadic, each breath a precious gift. A wave of sadness washed over her, threatening to engulf her in its depths. But she pushed it back, refusing to let grief overshadow this sacred moment. Her daughter deserved peace, and Sophie would be strong for her, just as she had always been.
She leaned closer, her lips brushing against her daughter's ear. "It's okay, my love," she whispered, her voice thick with emotion. "Let go. I'm here. I'll always be here."
And in that moment of profound connection, as her daughter's hand relaxed its grip on hers, Sophie felt a sense of peace settle over her. It wasn't the absence of pain, but rather a quiet acceptance, a knowing that their love would endure, even as the circle of life continued its eternal dance. Her daughter's last look, though her eyes were closed, held a lifetime of love, a silent thank you, a peaceful surrender. And in that final, unspoken exchange, Sophie found a strength she didn't know she possessed, a strength that would carry her through the days, weeks, and years to come. Years had passed since that fateful autumn morning, when Alex had found a shivering puppy beneath the oak tree. The once tiny, fragile creature had blossomed into a loyal companion, a constant presence by Alex's side through the ebb and flow of life's seasons. The park, their shared sanctuary, had borne witness to countless walks, games of fetch, and quiet moments of companionship. The oak tree, their silent guardian, had watched over them as their bond deepened with each passing year, its gnarled branches a testament to the enduring power of their connection.
Now the once sprightly puppy had entered its twilight years. Its muzzle had turned frosty white, its gait slower, more deliberate. Yet its eyes, though clouded with age, still held the same unwavering loyalty, the same unconditional love that had captured Alex's heart all those years ago.
Alex, too, had changed. The years had etched lines on his face, a roadmap of laughter lines and worry wrinkles. But the solitary man he'd once been was gone, replaced by someone who cherished companionship, who understood the profound gift of unconditional love that only a pet could offer. The familiar crunch of fallen leaves beneath their feet accompanied their steps as they ambled along the park path. The air, crisp and cool, carried the scent of autumn, a bittersweet reminder of the season's cycle of death and renewal.
Softly. "Come on, boy, let's take our time."
Alex, his pace unhurried, matched his stride to his dog's slower gait. He watched as his old friend sniffed at the base of a tree, its tail giving a faint wag as it caught a familiar scent. Time may have stolen its youthful energy, but its spirit, its zest for life, still flickered brightly.
Gently. "Good boy, still finding all those interesting smells, huh?"
They reached their usual bench, the one overlooking the pond where ducks paddled lazily amongst the fallen leaves. Alex settled onto the worn wooden slats, his dog settling beside him with a contented sigh. He gently stroked his dog's fur, feeling the bones beneath the once thick coat. His touch was filled with a lifetime of shared moments, a silent language of love and understanding that transcended words.
Whispering, we've been through so much together, haven't we?
The sun, a golden orb sinking towards the horizon, cast long shadows across the park. The air grew still, as if nature itself was holding its breath, paying homage to the day's gentle decline. Alex watched as a pair of ducks took flight, their wings beating in unison as they soared gracefully into the twilight sky. He envied their freedom, their ability to cheat time and gravity.
Thoughtfully, if only we could fly away like that, just for a little while.
He knew that time, like a river, flowed in only one direction. It carried them all along its current, relentlessly, inevitably, towards the vast ocean of eternity. And as much as he wished he could stop time, hold on to these precious moments forever, he knew that such a feat was beyond even the most devoted of companions. Instead, he chose to cherish the moment, to embrace the bittersweet beauty of their shared journey. He closed his eyes, committing every detail to memory, the feel of his dog's fur beneath his hand, the gentle rise and fall of its chest as it breathed, the familiar scent of damp earth and dog hair that filled his senses.
With a sigh, this moment, it's perfect just as it is.
As the last rays of sunlight faded, Alex felt his dog shift beside him. It nuzzled its head against his leg, a gesture of comfort.
Softly, hey there, old friend.
He looked into his dog's eyes, now cloudy with age, yet filled with unwavering devotion. In that look, he saw a lifetime of shared walks and playful chases. He saw the unconditional love, the unwavering loyalty, and he knew their bond would endure long after their final farewell.
With emotion, you've given me so much.
As darkness descended, Alex wrapped his arms around his old friend. In that final embrace, he whispered words of love and gratitude.
Whispering with tears, thank you. Thank you for being my companion, my friend, my family.
And as he held his dog close, he knew he had received the gift of unconditional love. A love that transcended time, a love that would stay with him always. Years had passed, their passage etching lines on faces and weaving silver threads into once vibrant hair. Serendipity, however, seemed untouched by time's relentless march. The cobblestone streets still whispered tales of bygone eras. The scent of lilac still perfumed the air, and the setting sun still painted the sky in a breathtaking symphony of colors.
Elara, her steps a little slower now, her breath a little shallower, had returned to the place where her heart had found solace, where the whispers of the wind carried echoes of laughter and love. The bustling market square, once a stage for chance encounters and life-altering moments, now held a quiet serenity, a sense of peace that resonated deep within her soul.
She paused, her gaze sweeping over the familiar scene. The old fountain still bubbled merrily at the square's center. Children still chased pigeons with gleeful abandon, and the scent of freshly baked bread still wafted from the bakery window, an olfactory invitation to savor life's simple pleasures. But it was the hillside, bathed in the golden glow of the setting sun, that beckoned her, a silent invitation to revisit a place where she had found solace, where nature's embrace had whispered secrets of life and loss, of beginnings and endings. The familiar path, worn smooth by countless footsteps over time, wound its way through a tapestry of autumn hues. The leaves, a riot of crimson, gold and russet, crunched softly beneath Elara's feet, their gentle symphony a soothing balm to her weary soul.
As she ascended, each step a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, the vista that had once taken her breath away unfolded before her once more. The mountains, their peaks often shrouded in mist, stood sentinel, their silent presence a comforting constant in a world of constant change.
The valley below, a patchwork quilt of fields and forests, lay bathed in the warm glow of the setting sun, its beauty a poignant reminder of the ephemeral nature of life's journey. The air, crisp and clean, filled her lungs with a renewed sense of purpose. A reminder that even as one chapter drew to a close, another awaited, its pages blank, ready for the inscription of new memories.
Reaching the summit, the place where she had once stood witness to the miracle of dawn, Elara settled onto a moss-covered boulder, her gaze drawn to the western horizon, where the sun was making its final descent.
The sky, a canvas of ever-changing hues, transformed into a breathtaking masterpiece of color and light as the sun began its final descent. Orange, crimson, and violet hues danced across the heavens, their fiery brilliance reflected in the valley below, turning the meandering river into a ribbon of liquid gold.
Elara watched, mesmerized, as nature orchestrated its nightly spectacle, a farewell symphony of light and shadow, a testament to the beauty that existed even in endings. The silence of the hillside, broken only by the gentle whisper of the wind, amplified the poignancy of the moment, a reminder that all things, no matter how vibrant, how enduring, must eventually fade.
Yet there was no sense of sadness, no fear in the face of the inevitable. Instead, a profound peace settled over Elara, a quiet acceptance of life's cyclical nature. She had lived, loved, laughed, and grieved. She had embraced life's adventures with an open heart, learning from its challenges and celebrating its triumphs. And now, as she witnessed nature's own farewell, she felt a sense of completion, a sense of gratitude for the beauty she had witnessed, the love she had shared, the lessons she had learned. As the last sliver of sun slipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the land, Elara closed her eyes, imprinting the memory of its warmth on her eyelids. The air grew cooler, the silence deeper, the stars beginning to emerge in the darkening sky, each one a tiny pinprick of light in the vast tapestry of the cosmos.
I thought of my own life, its threads woven into the fabric of time. There had been moments of joy and sorrow, times of light and darkness, chapters filled with laughter and pages stained with tears. But through it all, I had learned, grown, and loved.
She had loved deeply, fiercely, and without reservation. She had found solace in nature's embrace, strength in the face of adversity, and wisdom in the quiet moments of reflection. She had learned that life, like the tapestry of nature, was a blend of light and shadow, beauty and imperfection, joy and sorrow.
And as I sat there, enveloped in the stillness of the approaching night, I knew that my story, like the setting sun, would eventually fade from view. But the love I had shared, the kindness I had shown, the memories I had created, those would endure, woven into the fabric of the universe, a testament to a life well lived.
The room was dim, the silence broken only by the rhythmic beeping of a nearby machine and the soft rustle of curtains swaying gently in the breeze from an open window. Sam lay in the bed, his eyes closed, his breath shallow and labored. The once robust vitality that had defined him was fading, replaced by a fragile stillness, a quiet surrender to the relentless march of time.
My reflection, once a source of discomfort and scrutiny, now holds no power over me. The lines etched on my face, the silver streaks in my hair, the slight tremor in my hands, they are all simply markers of a life well lived, badges of honor earned through years of laughter, love, and loss.
The world outside, with its relentless pace and cacophony of noise, seemed distant and unimportant now. The only sounds that registered were the gentle murmur of voices from beyond the door, whispers of concern and love, a soothing balm to his weary soul. He had faced his fears, confronted his demons, and embraced the complexities of his own humanity.
I had loved deeply, forgiven freely, and learned to find joy in the simplest of things. I had lived a life filled with purpose, a life that had touched the hearts of others in ways I would never fully comprehend.
Time, once a relentless river carrying him swiftly along, had slowed to a gentle meander, each breath a precious gift, each moment a treasure to be savored. He thought of the people who had shaped his journey, the loves he had lost and found, the friendships that had weathered the storms of life.
I remembered Elara, her laughter echoing in the corridors of my heart, her love a beacon of light that continues to guide me even now. I thought of our adventures together, our shared dreams, the quiet intimacy of our bond.
He recalled the pride he'd felt watching his children grow, the unconditional love that had blossomed in his heart with the arrival of each grandchild. He had learned the true meaning of legacy, not measured in material possessions, but in the enduring power of love, the indelible mark we leave on the hearts of those we cherish.
The weight of years, once a burden I carried on my shoulders, now feels like a comforting embrace, a testament to the richness of my experiences, the depth of my emotions, the fullness of a life well lived. The inevitability of my own mortality, once a source of fear and denial, now washes over me with a sense of quiet acceptance.
He had made peace with his past, embraced his present, and found solace in the knowledge that his love would continue to weave its way through the lives of those he would leave behind.
I have learned that death, like birth, is simply a transition, a passing from one state of being to another.
The physical form may wither and fade, but the essence of who we are, the love we have shared, the memories we have created, those endure, woven into the fabric of the universe.
He closed his eyes, surrendering to the gentle embrace of drowsiness, his mind adrift on a sea of memories.
He saw the faces of those he loved, their smiles a beacon of light in the encroaching darkness.
I hear their voices, whispering words of comfort, their love a tangible presence in the quiet stillness of the room.
He was ready. In the soft glow of early dawn, as the world outside slowly awakened to a new day, Sam took one last peaceful breath, his heart filled with a profound sense of gratitude.
I have lived, loved, lost and learned.
He had embraced the fullness of the human experience with all its joys and sorrows, triumphs and failures.
And as I slip quietly away, my hand reaching out as if to touch the face of eternity, a faint smile touches my lips.
For he knew that his journey was far from over, merely transitioning into a new and unknown adventure.
His last look, a reflection of a life well lived, holds no regrets, only a quiet acceptance, a peaceful surrender to the mysteries that lay beyond the veil.
He had embraced the journey, and now he was ready to embrace the unknown, his spirit soaring free, his love an enduring legacy that would continue to shine brightly in the hearts of those he left behind. Throughout our exploration, we have witnessed the profound impact of first and last looks. These glances, seemingly simple and fleeting, hold the essence of our most meaningful connections. In the town of Serendipity, Elara and Sam's first look sparked a lifetime of adventure and love. Sophie's gaze upon her newborn daughter, Lily, was a moment of pure, unconditional love. Alex's first encounter with the stray puppy led to an unbreakable friendship. These moments are interwoven into the fabric of our lives, creating a rich tapestry. Each glance is a thread, each connection a pattern, contributing to our human experience. Our lives are a mosaic of these powerful moments. Cherish every look, every connection, and every shared moment. The first and last looks serve as poignant bookends to the chapters of our lives. They mark the beginning of new adventures and the closing of well-lived stories. Elara and Sam's initial curiosity turned into a lifetime of shared experiences, while their final look in the serene hospital room encapsulated a love filled with gratitude and unspoken words. These moments highlight the cyclical nature of life, where every ending is also a beginning. In the intimate gaze between Sophie and Lily, we see the start of a lifelong bond, a promise of love and support. Similarly, Sophie's last look at her daughter, now grown and facing her own journey, is a silent affirmation of an unbroken bond that transcends time and space. These glances, whether they occur between parents and children, humans and pets, or individuals and nature, remind us that life is a series of transitions, each one holding its own beauty and significance. By embracing these moments, we come to appreciate the full spectrum of our experiences. The first look is filled with hope and potential, while the last look is imbued with reflection and fulfillment. Together, they teach us to value the journey, to find meaning in both the joy and the sorrow, and to recognize that every glance, every connection adds a unique thread to the tapestry of our lives. As we reflect on the stories shared, we are reminded of the importance of being present in our lives. Each first and last look teaches us to pay attention, to truly see and be seen. Whether it's the unspoken promise in the eyes of a new friend, the profound bond formed in a mother's gaze, or the enduring loyalty reflected in the eyes of a faithful pet, these moments call us to be mindful of the connections we make. Elara's first look at the sunrise on the remote hillside taught her the peace and belonging that nature offers, while Sam's journey of self-acceptance began with a heartfelt glance at his reflection. These moments of introspection and connection with the world around us highlight the transformative power of being fully present. They remind us that life's true beauty lies in the details, in the fleeting glances and the shared memories that shape our existence. By embracing these moments, we open ourselves to the richness of the human experience. We learn to cherish the fleeting glances that carry so much meaning, to find joy in the connections we make, and to appreciate the profound impact that each look can have on our lives. In doing so, we cultivate a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us, fostering empathy, compassion, and a greater appreciation for the journey we are on. As our exploration of first and last looks comes to a close, we are reminded that the journey of life is defined by these powerful moments. They are the touchstones that guide us, the markers of our most significant connections, and the reminders of the beauty and depth of the human experience. Each glance, whether it marks a beginning or an end, weaves a thread into the tapestry of our lives, creating a rich and intricate pattern that tells our unique story. In the end, it is these glances that define our journey, weaving together the tapestry of our lives. They remind us to be present, to cherish the connections we make, and to find meaning in both the joy and the sorrow. As we continue on our individual paths, let us carry with us the awareness that every glance holds the potential for connection, for meaning, for a story waiting to be told. If you enjoyed this journey through the first and last looks, don't forget to subscribe and join us for more heartfelt stories. Join us next time as we explore the stories behind the words we speak and the unspoken emotions they carry. Thank you for being a part of this heartfelt journey through life.